always wanted to be pretty. Pretty like the girls who wore Limited Too and Abercrombie, because back in the 90s, you wore your values stitched on your tee. Because how else will anyone know what you're worth if your shirt doesn't tell them that your family has a net worth? I always wanted to be pretty. Like the girls who never tried to be cool because they were born knowing that if you're trying to be anything, then it means you're not already that thing, and ice doesn't need to try to be cool because it's already freezing. But me, I was born water in lukewarm autumn, and my blood runs too hot to ever freeze. And my family counted their net worth in pennies that paid the rent, the groceries, and oh, you want a t-shirt? You can shop the clearance rack at JCPenney. I always wanted to be pretty, like the girls who had boys circling their lockers and the girls who had other girls to sit with at lunch, because if you're a girl that the boys want, you're a girl that the other girls also want, because that's how we first learn about the patriarchy, that our worth isn't tied to being a good girl, but rather tied to being his good girl. And it doesn't matter if you feel like you're a pretty girl, because we weren't taught to want ourselves. We were taught to make the boys want us, even if it means we have to hate who we are in order to make them love who we are not. I always wanted to be pretty, and then one day I hit puberty and became the kind of pretty that made the boys who once bullied me now want to kiss me. And I'd be lying if I said it didn't feel good to finally be wanted, because pretty privilege exists. And isn't it nice to be invited to sit at the table instead of having to beg for a seat that was empty but never yours? Isn't it nice to have people look at you instead of look past you? And isn't it nice to realize that you are now pretty, but that pretty does not make you feel any more worthy? Oh wait, that's not nice. Because I grew up and I turned pretty, and I realized that in order to feel worthy, I needed to stop giving away my currency to the men who wanted to spend me but never invest in me. Because some men would rather you feel pretty than feel worthy. Pretty sits and smiles while worthy screams and shouts, and I've never been cool like ice. I've always been hot like fire, burning in his throat while I pour the kerosene of my screams that you might call me ugly. But the day I finally felt pretty was the day I realized that feeling pretty was nothing compared to feeling free. And so if I could go back in time, I would tell the little girl who wanted to be pretty that it's nice to be pretty, but it's powerful to be worthy. And pretty may get you a seat at the table, but power is what gives you the ability to build your own table and chairs and give yourself the freedom of deciding who gets to sit there.